teacher. I heard he had a podcast. What's it called? There's a new podcast, camping them softly. The toxic teacher, he's the host of hosts. The man with the most, gonna make that money. Goddamn, he's so funny. Toxic teachers, camping them softly. He's here to play every single fucking day. Toxic teachers, camping them softly.
Hey, it is episode 16 of Camping Them Softly, hosted by me, the Toxic Teacher. You can find me everywhere at Toxic Teacher TTV, except for YouTube. I am the Toxic Teacher on YouTube, and this is our 16th episode. This is Super Sweet 16. Did you ever watch that show way back when? Super Sweet 16? I think it was a bunch of 16-year-old girls that were entitled and rich. I think it was mostly girls. I can't remember. I just remember they were all complete assholes. And that was kind of the point of the show, was you were just throwing things at the screen, trying to express your disdain for this madness, for the over the top, right? America is way over the top in what we do. It is crazy stuff. But guys, we have an extremely busy episode today. We've got it full. I've got my paper here. I took notes this time. I took notes because I have to stay organized a little bit. And I also got my soundboard on my new mixer. I got my soundboard set up. Check it out here. Let me try, and we're just gonna. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll try it. And I'm not going to remember what any of these are, at least not at first, so bear with me.
The first thing I want you to do is shut your stinking hole.
Okay, that one's good. Let me try. That one will be for survivors. Hang on. Let's try another.
I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Okay. Now let's try.
You got some kick-ass shit.
Yeah, okay.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
This must be the wrestling side. Hang on, let me.
Oh, sexy girlfriend.
Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's a good one. That's one I'm gonna have to remember. So we've got a huge show. Like I said, I've got these notes here I've got to read off of. So why don't we get started at item one? And item one is, again, to thank people. And this has been my thing. I like to look at where everybody is from that's listening to the show. It's still fascinating to me, even after 16 episodes. I like seeing all the new places come up, and there's always new ones. That's what's exciting to me. Like this time in the last episode, we've got The Hague in South Holland. I think that one is new. I'm not totally sure, but I think it's new. Dublin is still going strong. They left a while, but then they decided to come back. I don't know what happened. There was like a lull there. And I guess we're back in Ireland. We are back. Hang on, let me try one of my sounds.
Austin 3.
No, that's not right. No, that's not it. I don't know which one's which.
Let's do all the things that you want to do.
No, that's not it. Oh, I got the Taco Bell bong.
You're not down with that? We got 2 words for you.
I have a lot of wrestling sounds, it seems like. So anyway, we got The Hague, we got Ireland, we got Downsview. I think Downsview's been here, though. And then we got Kennewick, Washington, been here before. Here's a new one, though. La Canada, Flint Ridge, California. I think that's the actual town. The entire town is called La Canada. I'm looking it up. Hang on. Give me a second. La Canada, Flint Ridge. That is an actual city in California. Hang on, let me see where they are. I'm really curious. Oh, that's right outside of Los Angeles, actually. That's right north of LA. And I think, what's the nearest? Glendale. It's right north of Glendale, and then Pasadena. So you've got those. You've got Altadena, Burbank, and then it's right up north from there. It's kind of toward the that's a forest up there, which you wouldn't think. There's like a national forest right above Los Angeles. I don't know. I'm going to have to visit. Anyway, let me see any other ones. Parsons, Tennessee. Thank you. Calistoga, California. Apparently, we're big in California in this last episode. I guess Swift Kick, the second part. We're going to talk about that here in a bit. But California is our new friend. Jefferson City, Missouri. I believe you're new. Thank you for coming by. Buffalo, New York. You might as well be Canada, but thank you. And then Philly, and then my old hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you guys for coming by. And that's just, that's a smattering there. And, you know, still the number one city for downloads across all 16 is Dublin, Ireland. That's the number one, taking into account everything, you know, in America, all the people I've talked to about it here, all the people I've communicated with on stream. I don't even have Irish people coming to my stream. So I have no fucking clue. It became a thing. I can't, I just, you know, I appreciate that. And I wish I had an appreciative sound alert.
Shut up, bitch.
That's not it. Do I have one? Yeah. No, that's not. Okay. Anyway, I don't have one. So get the fuck over it. Anyway, let's go to, hang on, let me get mine. The paper here. Okay, so in personal news, I got a new computer. I finally got this new computer, this new desktop PC, top of the line. This motherfucker is big, dude. Like, this shit is legit, and it was heavier than I thought it would be. Apparently, desktop computers have gotten fucking enormous and heavy with all of this equipment in it. Anyway, I lost a lot of my shit, like in the conversion. Like, I had to redo OBS to stream. I had to redo a lot of my sounds, like with this mixer. You know, I'm kind of starting over with a lot of these soundboard sounds and stuff like that. But I've noticed, you know, games run better. I can run everything, the game, all the software that goes along with it. It's a lot smoother than it was, with the exception of, remember the fact that we're playing Dead by fucking Daylight. So it never works right. And it was, in my last stream, it was rubber bandy as shit. It was awful. It was awful. But anyway, that's it for me. If you come by, it should look a little bit better. I got like a webcam and everything. I got like a new like 4K webcam, all that bullshit. So anyway, that's the new thing in my world. Now, man, we're going quick. This is rapid fire. I thought this would take longer, but that was, how much can you say about a new computer? Like, I could go into all the details. Got like one of those 4080s in it, the 4080 Super.
Damn, I'm good.
And that was Ace Ventura for you. I've got like 4 or 5 Ace Ventura sounds. So anyway, next thing on our list, also in personal news or in stream news, the secret that I was going to tell you about, that I believe I am at liberty to tell you now, is that we have a new YouTube channel. Oh my God, what? You have a new YouTube channel?
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
That was not the what I wanted. See, we're going to have this. Okay, so we have a new YouTube channel. Okay, anyway, that's about as good as it gets. I'm still working on it. Give me a fucking break. But here's what I want to tell you about the YouTube channel. It's called Toxic Tape Collective. I almost forgot. How dare he? He's trying to plug a channel and he fucking forgets the name of it. The Toxic Tape Collective. If you go to YouTube and type as one word, Toxic Tape Collective, it will pop up for you. What it's going to be songs made by me. You know, we were having so much fun on stream making songs and just being stupid and silly. I'm like, well, why the fuck are we not like monetizing this somehow, or at least attempting to? So I made the Toxic Tape Collective. I'm going to keep saying it. And we will start publishing songs on there. The songs will be AI generated. The lyrics will be, the lyrics are actually human generated. So that's actually, that's all me. But the lyrics are me. Art is AI. The music is AI. So we've got our first song, which was just a shitty song. Hang on, I was getting ready to play it. It's just a shitty song I came up with in like 10 minutes. And it's called Damn It, Rick, Hot Dog in My Pants. And I'll play you a little bit here about an accountant named Rick who puts hot dogs in people's pants. One sec. Anyway, you get the point of the song. That's basically the entire song. So that is the new thing. And so I would follow that, and we'll have songs up from time to time. We'll write some songs out and get those up there. That is item number. God damn, we're almost through the whole thing. We're almost through my list. It's been 11 minutes. How do these people talk for 2 hours? Well, I've done it before, actually. So I'm saying, how do these people talk for 2 hours? I've done it. So the last thing, maybe the last thing, unless I come up with more. You see, I'm starting to get animated here. It takes me a second. I start out a little bit under, and then I start to pick it up. That's what I need to do, actually. So let's think about this. You start the podcast, and then you get into it. You get into this mode, and then you stop the recording, and then you start actually going. See, that's the genius right there. And that's what I need to do. But obviously, I'm not going to because I put so much work into this one. But here's what I want to do, okay? So we've talked about 8.0.0, right? We've talked about all the bad things for killers. We've talked about all this garbage that we're going to have to go through in the next update. What I do want to go over, though, is something that came out. I don't know when it went public. Let me see if I can get the date. It was on X, on Twitter, I think. People started to come out and talk about this new program for Behavior Interactive, or Dead by Daylight, called the Consultant Program, the Consultancy Program, whatever you want to call it. So here is essentially what I believe it is. And I think if you can give me a second, I'm going to pull it up on Twitter. I still refuse to call it X. Is that bad? I will not call it X, but let me type in. There was one streamer who, came out and said he was a consultant. I'm trying to look it up now. It was Hens. If you are a fan of Hens, he's a big DBD streamer, YouTuber. Let me read here. Okay, so he said the Dead by Daylight consultant program became public yesterday. That was May 24th, so that was 3 days ago. He said consultants give advice and their opinions on live balance changes and future content, mainly from a balancing perspective. I've been a part of it for a bit now and hopefully helped make DBD a tiny bit better. I hope you can hear those crickets. Because this consultant program, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't know if I fully understand what's happening here with this. Here's the reason being, is I think most people thought that this was what the Fog Whisperer program was, is that the Fog Whisperers were consultants. I'm not quite sure I understand. And this was a thing for God knows how long. And I don't know. See, here's my problem. as far as I know, the consultant's a paid position, and I know in the comments or on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but it's a paid position. They're kind of an employer or contractor behavior. As far as I know, I believe they are. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah. So anyway, my idea is, if this is a paid position, which I think I read that. I wish I had that with me. You think it would have. So if this is a paid position, that's a nightmare for this game, because then that means the creators who are also consultants are being paid by the company. And if they are being paid by the company, I really think that, hang on, let me see. I'm looking it up. I can't find it. That's why you're hearing that sound, is because I'm trying. I could be wrong on that. If they are paid, though, it would be a conflict of interest, I think, to be, showing this stuff and then be getting paid, but not admitting that you're getting paid, right? Not saying that I have an interest in this game doing well. Now, let's say that they're not being paid. Okay, let's look the other way. If we look the other way, then it's still kind of misleading to the public that there has been this consultancy program for God knows how long. And then there's been the Fog Whisperer program. I'm hearing some weird fucking noise in my ear. That's what's bothering me. That's why I sound like I'm like distracted. So anyway, this program, it throws people off, I guess. Now, because people thought, and I think it was Hydro that thought that he just quit being a Fog Whisperer. He's a pretty good streamer. He used to have a Dead by Daylight podcast, and I enjoyed his shit. And he quit being a Fog Whisperer because he felt like he wasn't being heard. I'm curious if Hydro even knew this consultancy thing existed. And if he didn't, why wouldn't they tell him and say, hey, maybe you'd want to be a consultant? I just don't get it. So, that means you've got two different groups of people, right? You have the consultants, which are the advisors. They're the ones saying this would be a good idea, bad idea. Here's a balance change that you might need to make. Here's some overpowered, underpowered, overtuned, whatever. That means that the Fog Whisperers are nothing more than brand ambassadors, and hence basically said that, and there's not really much of an argument against that, is because all they were there for is to bring publicity to the game and to themselves, right? If I'm a Fog Whisperer, I'm getting viewers off of it. They're pitching me, I'm pitching them. It's a you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of relationship, right? So we thought the Fog Whisperers were the ones being listened to, and I don't think that was ever the case, ever. And this bamboozled a lot of people. I think more than anything what this did was that this kind of put a sour taste in people's mouths. This really kind of, it looks bad, so to speak, in my opinion. So, what are they going to do about this? I have no idea. I don't know if they just sit and wait and let it die down, or if they're going to come out and really say that much about it. It's a sticky situation. Of course, it's good that they would have actual gamers testing it and giving their input. I don't know if this program is paid. I wish it was, but who the fuck knows at this point, because I can't find it. I thought I saw it. If you guys can tell me if it is paid, because that to me, that would change the conversation quite a bit, at least for me. So, like, Otz is one of my favorite. He's one of the better Dead by Daylight streamers, in my opinion. I don't think he is a consultant, but he has complained several times about them not listening to him and listening to what he had to say. If it's true that he wasn't a consultant, then that explains why they weren't listening to him. And why not tell him? Like, what the fuck? Like, say, dude, you're not a consultant. We're not listening to you. Play our game and keep your mouth shut, and we'll throw things your way. Instead of letting him believe that. Anyway, I gotta take a drink. I'm getting heated here. So that's where we're at on this consultant program. I don't know if it was a good idea to go public. I don't know why they went public. I don't know what that is supposed to help with, how that is supposed to help them in any way, shape, or form. I think it's going to hurt them more than anything else. I don't know how this would be good. I really don't.
The first thing I want you to do is shut your stinking hole.
Okay, I'm gonna go off on that. Yeah, just play with my soundboard. When in doubt, just start playing with the soundboard. That's what we're gonna do. So the next thing I wanted to talk about. So Chaos Shuffle has been going on. They actually extended it because everybody loves it. And I want to talk about it because it looks like it was extended again to June 3rd. Was that a second extend, or is that just the first? Not totally sure. But what I want to say about this Chaos Shuffle is there was a point that was brought up online that I really think was a really good and kind of illuminating point as to the state of the game, is that Chaos Shuffle effectively eliminates the meta. It eliminates the whole idea of having these builds, and every build's going to be the same, and that all survivors, all killers are going to bring the same perks over and over and over and over. And there's a lot to that, I think, is that you notice how much fun people are having when there is no meta, whenever there's just randomness, right? And you never know what's going to happen. I think there's a cool sense of there's a cool sense of excitement to see what you're going to get as your perks, and then there's kind of an element of surprise at what the other side's perks are going to be. And I think it was really cool. It has helped me a lot with figuring out some new builds and some new perks that I may not have ever looked at before. And I don't know if it should stay permanent, just because that would split the player base. I don't want the player base split. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. And I feel like at some point it might. I just don't want the player base to get split one way or another, like ranked mode, casual mode. Please no, please no, please no. And so that's a chaos mode. To keep going, there's, I've been having the same back and forth with survivor mains. We're having the same thing every fucking week as far as camping and tunneling, the new update, what's good and what's bad about the game, the same things online. And there's always good and bad on both sides, right? And I'm just kind of riffing at this point. But I still see that for some reason, I just don't get some of these new changes. And that's what's been bothering me, is that it seems like a lot of the game revolves around limiting what the killers can do, if that makes sense. And I'm forming this idea as we speak. This is not on my sheet, but this is the formation of a bright idea here.
I'm good.
Yes. So think about this for a second, though, is that the general path of updates and changes to this game goes, killers do X. X is bad. Let's make a change that prevents them from doing X. Now they're doing Y. We've got to change Y because Y is causing other people not to have fun. oh, now they're doing Z. We've got to prevent Z. So we're going to make a new survivor perk that prevents Z or stops Z, but then it makes X better to do. Give me a fucking break.
Oh, sexy girlfriend.
I haven't figured them out. I apologize. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And why is this the state of the game? If somebody can explain that to me, is why does it all revolve around the killers and whether or not the killers are fun to play against or not fun to play against? It just seems like maybe because it's the imbalance, right? It's 4 against 1, right? Whenever there is a massive outnumbering of killer players to survivor players, of course, they may have more say. And it just seems like they've had more say, right? Because so many things benefit them. They don't benefit the killers. And it just, this is the state of things, is that you just kind of sit and wait. As a killer player, you're sitting and waiting to see what behavior is going to take away. And it gets old, it gets tiring, but we keep going. And I don't know how we keep going. I don't know how we do it, but we do. We do it. I said do. Hang on, do I have a sound for that?
You got some kick-ass shit.
That's not the sound for it, but you get what I mean? Let me see. I'm just scrolling here. I'm not seeing anything. And it's just there's just not a lot. Not a lot. For killers, it does get a little disheartening. I'm having kind of an emotional moment there where you do get disheartened by kind of this constant shitting on. And they're going to say, oh, well, it's skill based and blah, 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 blah. But the skill has to go up and up and up and up because everything's being taken away. It's just, to me, it's just getting rough. It's getting rough and it's getting annoying and it's getting more and more and more and more. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe one of the consultants could help, right? I don't know. These consultants, they could do something. I don't know what they're doing. That's what I would be curious about. Now, with the fact that there are consultants, I would like to know what impact those consultants actually had on game development. I don't know that that's ever going to happen, but I would be interested. I would be really interested to see that. Yeah. So what I wanted to do next, though, and I came up with this just now, and I think this is a good thing. It's an interesting, deep dive into statistics. Is, people use Nightlight. I don't know if you've ever been on there, nightlight.gg. What it is, it's a program you can download on your computer, or you can do it web-based, to where you record your games of Dead by Daylight and it uploads them onto the server, and there are thousands of people using it. So it gets aggregated data. Most of you guys, if you're listening to a Dead by Daylight podcast, probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I pulled the most recent data over the past 28 days, and I wanted to just see if there was anything that jumped out. And I'm looking at the killers here because, I'm a killer main, so I'm going to look at the killers, right? I need to know what's going on with killers.
Every time I turn around, there's a pair of bodacious tatas in my face.
I have no clue, but I love that Taco Bell. I've been using the bell whenever I hook people now, so we're thinking outside the bun, brother. What is this?
Brother, I was at Arby's scarfing down a chicken cordon bleu. That natural chicken tastes righteous. That's because it's not all pumped up with phosphates and fillers.
Apparently, it's not pumped up with phosphates and fillers, as opposed to other sandwiches which are pumped up with phosphates and fillers. Oh, that's disgusting. So, anyway, let's go back to the stats, okay? So we're jumping in the stats here. is I'm looking at pick rate, right? I want to see who the most selected killers are and the most played killers, and we'll see if we get these killers a lot. Number 1's Huntress. Number 2, Wesker. 3, Hillbilly. 4 is Blight. Then Wraith, Legion, Chucky, The Unknown, and Myers, which sounds about right. There's nothing really that surprises me. I guess I thought some of the ones that are lower down might be more played, like Sadako, like Hag, I thought might be played a little bit more. Spirit, you know, especially some of the older killers, Doctor. You know, so it kind of surprising. Wesker is still way up there though. And I think it's because he's fun to play. Like, I really enjoy playing Wesker. He's one, if there was a killer that, you know, somebody came up, put a gun to my head and said, motherfucker, tell me which killer you want to get better at. I would say Wesker, Albert Wesker, please. And then I would bang the Taco Bell bong, gong. Whatever you want to call it. So he's number 2. Now, actually, I want to switch this. I want to go by kill rate to see who has the highest kill rate in Dead by Daylight. Right now, we're still with the Skull Merchant at 60, almost 67%, according to this.
You're not down with that? We got 2 words for you.
66% highest kill rate. Didn't she have the highest kill rate whenever they released those? Remember, they released all of the shit before all those statistics, and I believe she was number 1, still number 1. So whatever they did with her doesn't seem to be changing things. It could be because of the dying on hook, right? The people just letting themselves die on hook. That very well could be the case. Number 2 on kill rate with almost 70% kill rate is the Twins. Number 3 is Sadako, 4 is Plague, and 5 is Hillbilly, which Sadako surprises me. I don't know if it should surprise me, but it does. Just because I thought since those changes, she might be a little bit less powerful. Apparently she isn't. Plague is a solid killer, so you know, it only makes sense to be somewhere up there. The last, now this is where it gets interesting actually. The dead last on the kill rate is Singularity. That's actually not very surprising.
Oh, sexy girlfriend.
That you know, the killer is difficult. It has a huge skill ceiling, and I feel like that the average player won't be able to use them very well. So that's interesting. I want to get on some Singularity. I want to see what I can do, actually. Go in with no pretensions about doing well. I just want to see what happens. So I might actually make that a thing and see if, like, can I beat the average? Because the average kill rate right now is 50%. I wonder if I play 10 games, can I beat the average? Am I better than the average Singularity player?
Damn, I'm good!
There we go. Hang on, what is this one?
Let's do all the things that you want to do.
Okay. And then,
After all, AIDS is a deadly, incurable disease. But no matter how you come to judge Charles Wheeler and his partners in ethical, moral, and inhuman terms, the fact of the matter is, when they fired Andrew Beckett because he had AIDS, they broke the law.
okay, I don't know if anyone will ever actually get that reference, but that's from something. And I would be curious to know if anyone understands that reference. Me and my buddies do, but...
Shut up, bitch.
Okay, so the second to last on the kill rate is Deathslinger, which you know is one of my favorite ones, is one of my favorite killers. And I think he is a difficult killer to play. He's very, very difficult to play. And it only makes sense as to why he would have a lower kill rate than some of the other ones, because you have to make skill shots with him, right? That also leads to the next couple, which would be Xenomorph, which is also skill shot. And then the next one, which is weird here, is Wesker.
16 says I just whipped your ass.
Whenever I want a reaction, I'm just pushing a random soundboard sound, and that's what's happening. What happens if I push this one? Oh, it doesn't do anything. Okay, that's that. Okay, so then you have, toward the bottom, you have the Night, Chucky, and Demo are like the last ones there. So that gives you kind of an interesting little overview here of which killers are picked the most and which ones actually do the killing. That's interesting, very interesting. And also the perks. I always look at the most common perks because I like to know what people use, what they put together, especially on different killers. For the last 28 days now, the top 5 for the killers are Pain Res, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, right? Because that's a good regression perk. Pop Goes a Weasel is number 2, another good regression perk. Lethal Pursuer is number 3, and then Barbecue and Chili is number 4, which Barbecue I didn't know was used that much. That's very interesting. And I wonder, there are certain killers I think would be very, very good with. Any of the teleporting type killers that can get across the map if you see somebody. That'd be very good. Noed is number 10, by the way, for all you Survivor mains there. So for Survivors, there is one that's in first place by a mile. And it is a shit perk, and it is called Windows of Opportunity. This perk doesn't belong in the game. I don't feel like this or Zancian Tactics belong in the game. If Windows stays, it should stay as it was before. I think right now it is so far overpowered that it needs to be changed. And I think I've talked about this on the stream before, that we need to get rid of this fucking perk. I don't know. Can we talk to a consultant? Can we talk to Hens? Can Hens do something about this? Because apparently people listen to him. They don't listen to me. So please do something. Okay, that didn't work out. So the next few big perks for Survivors would be Life, Adrenaline, Resilience, and Deja Vu. And I'm actually surprised Resilience is as high as it is. Not surprised as much about the other ones. Resilience might be high up because it's a base perk, and I would assume there. And it also, you have to be injured for Resilience to have an effect. On a lot of killers, you don't want to be injured. You want to be injured as little as possible. So you actually want it to not be used, right? You want it to not be active. So anyway, that's that for the perks and kind of the state of things. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Survivors, oh my God, in the past 28 days, the pick rate, Sable is the top picked killer. And then Meg, Nia, Fang, and Michaela are the top 5. I wonder who's dead last. We're going down. Hang on. Can anyone guess who's dead last on the most picked Survivors? Would you be able to guess that? If that same guy that put a gun to my head, put a gun to your head, hey, motherfucker, who's the least picked killer? Or Survivor, I mean. See, he doesn't even know how to talk. He's nervous because he's having to put guns to people and say, hey, motherfucker.
That's what she said.
No, that was the wrong sound. But he says, what Survivors use the least? The Survivor that is used the least. I don't have a fucking, do I have a drum roll? That's close. There we go. The least used killer, or Survivor, fuck. The least used Survivor is Yoichi. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he has no skins. People own Sadako. People own the chapter. Maybe not as many, right? He's just not exciting, right? I don't know. Jonah is second from the bottom. Tap is third from the bottom. And then fifth from the bottom would be Quentin. Sixth is Gabe. Gabriel, do we call him Gabe? And then Hattie, Ashley, Ripley, Lori. So I'm going in reverse order there. So that's very interesting, though. Tap is lower than he should be. I think Tap should be higher up on this list. And then also, no, nobody else should be higher up. I think Tap's the only one. Jeff, I don't know why Jeff isn't the best of all of them. Now that's the pick rate. Let's look at the escape rate. Which survivor escapes the most? Are you ready for this? If somebody put a gun to your fucking head and said, hey, bitch, which survivor gets out of here the most? I'll give you a hint. It's not Sable. It's not Yoichi. It's, hang on, let me get back to some. Ace. I didn't have a better sound. I just pushed a yellow one. That's what it does. So now I know the yellow one is the fucking trombone. Yellow. He escapes 48% of the time. Now, why does Ace escape more than the others? I don't know. But here's probably what he says when he leaves, and you'll get the joke if you're smart. There we go. Oh, I should start putting that. Oh, I should have that for whenever I hook somebody or they die. That's okay. That's going to be the new thing right there, because right now I've got a couple other. I've got that Taco Bell.
That's what.
No, not that one.
First thing I want you to do is shut your stinking hole.
No, that's not it. Okay, so number 2 and 3 on the list here are Alan Wake, Nancy Wheeler, Thalita. Fuck, it sounds like I come from the woods of Oklahoma. Sound like a name you would hear out in the woods. Thalita, get out here, Thalita. And then Rebecca, that was also a name you would hear out in rural Oklahoma. Rebecca, Becky, get over here, Becky. Get your brother, get Bubba. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I sound like that. Like, I don't think I sound as redneck as I actually sound, because I've been surrounded by other rednecks. And so whenever I'm around non-rednecks, then they're like, where the fuck are you from?
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Oh, okay. So we have Rebecca, Felix. Now, of course, we went over the ones that get out the most. Which ones get out the least? Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready for this shit? Somebody puts that gun to your head again and says, hey, motherfucker, which survivor escapes the least? Which one gets killed the most? Jane! Jane escapes only 40% of the time, 40.95. Ace escapes almost 8% more of the time than Jane does. Granted, it's not a huge difference. We're still in the 40s, but it's interesting. The second fewest escapes would be Ashley Williams. Then third least would be Yoichi, which we know. So some of the ones down at the bottom here, Yoichi, Jonah, Tap. Tap is like 5th from the bottom. They're also selected the least. And then some of the higher ones up here are not selected the most. I want to look for Meg on here. Yeah, Meg is toward the bottom. Michaela is even lower down. Fang is even lower down. Now, Fang, I could see not surviving just because people can't take the fucking noise whenever she gets hit or whenever she gets like hooked or anything. It's awful. It's awful. I'm sick of it. Where's my sound? Where's my fucking, hang on. Where is it? Where is it? What is this one? What is this one?
Austin 360.
Why do I have so many Stone Cold sounds? I need a different one.
Every time I turn around, there's a pair of bodacious tatas in my face.
I haven't heard the word tatas used in a long time. That's an underused word. Underused. So, that gives you kind of an overview. Wait, did I check what the least... Yeah, the least picked. We looked by pick rate, right? Yes, and then we looked by kill rate also. What was the least picked? Oh, was the Hag is the least picked. We didn't look at this, actually. The least picked killer is the Hag, then Freddy, then Singularity, then Dredge, then Twins, and Pinhead. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I actually want to I do want to do that challenge where I see if I can do 10 matches. Can I get the average? Can I outdo the average player that uploads their matches into Nightlight GG? That means for somebody like for Wesker, I would have to get 52% kill rate. For who is the highest? The unknown is 58%. And then going on. So for Singularity, that might be the hardest one. It's 49%, roughly 50. I think I may have a pretty hard time doing that, but that's going to be, I think that might be my newest challenge actually, to see, can we get the average here? I just come up with it. That's why I like riffing, is because you just come up with shit out of nowhere and it just so happens to work. It just works. That's what we do here on Camping Them Softly. We just make shit up. I'm not even on this paper anymore. So guys, let me wrap up with one or two more things. Number one, if you want to be on the podcast, if you want to be a guest, if you want to go back and forth like our good friend SwiftKick85 in Old Town South, let me know. Please reach out to me, Toxic Teacher TTV, or on YouTube at The Toxic Teacher, or you can even email thetoxicteacher@gmail.com. And that was how I was contacted. One of the two interviews, somebody, Old Town South, reached out to me, emailed me, said, hey, come on, man. Let me on. I said, yes, come on. And then the rest is history. So if you want to be on the show, let me know. If you have ideas, if you have comments, concerns, questions, unless you're a survivor main, get the fuck out of my face. That's my little thing at the end, right? That's what everybody's waiting for. I got to come up with something else. I like it, but I don't love it as far as my like going out thing. So we'll see. We'll see if I can't come up with a better going out thing. I don't have anything right now, but I might be able to come up with something. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to stew on it. I'm gonna stew. You know what stewing is? I stew. Most people probably don't know what stewing is, but anyway, let me see. Yeah, I've got so many sound effects. I'm not gonna go out on a sound effect. I feel like I need a catchphrase of some kind. So that'll be for next time. So anyway, we'll get a stream schedule up probably tonight. This show should go up tomorrow. Pretty easy one to edit. And that is it for episode 16 of Camping Them Softly. I think we may make it to episode 20. We've made it farther than most DBD podcasts ever make it. And for that, I've got to thank you guys. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the stream. I appreciate all the viewers. I appreciate the subs. I appreciate the listens. Everything matters, guys. Rate this podcast 5 stars. Download it on every fucking device you own. Whatever you got to do to get exposure, get us out there. Follow me on the things and do the things, you know, if you like it, if you enjoy it. If you don't, get the fuck out of here. But if you enjoy this shit, like seriously, help me make it known. Help my opinions get listened to. Make me a consultant. I want to be a consultant. I think they get paid. I still don't know. I'm going to ask. I'll come back. I'll report back. Do those motherfuckers get paid? And we'll find out. And then we'll also do some statistical analysis. I'll report back with the status of my challenge to see if I can't be the average Singularity player. I don't know how that's... I feel like it's going to go very, very bad. But we'll see. We'll see. That's part of the fun, right? And also, I'm on a weight loss challenge. So I have to say it here to hold myself accountable. I'm going to try to lose 20 fucking pounds. And I need a sound for that.
Shut up, bitch.
That's not the right sound. I need a sound... That's kind of the right sound. I don't.
You got some kick-ass shit.
That's not it. I dropped my paper. Okay, guys. Anyway, that's it for me. You know what? I'm going to post on my stream my weight loss progress. That way that holds me accountable. They're like, motherfucker, you gained 3 pounds, bitch. And then I'm going to say, that's whenever I would do...
Shut up, bitch.
That's where it belongs. This one, I don't know.
Shit-eating son of a bitch. Bastard, douchebag, twat, dickhead.
That's going to get me off of YouTube, I think, that one sound. So, guys, Thank you for coming by again. I appreciate everything. If you're a Survivor main, don't come back. If you are a Killer main or you like listening to me, please come back for episode 17. We've got a lot to report back on, and then we'll have some other stuff. I don't know what that other stuff is going to be yet, but there will be some. Hang on, let me see. When does the new update come out? 8.0.0 release date. Release date. I don't know actually. Release date. Hang on. That's DVD. I didn't type DVD. It gave me something else. The PTB. Let me see. I'm checking here. Does it say when it's going to go live? Scrolling down. What? What? It should have it on here. When does the new chapter DVD come out? June 3rd, actually. So does that mean whenever I come back, we will have played that? Hang on, what's a date? What's the fucking date? And why does what? Like my, in Windows, whenever you click that date thing, the calendar doesn't come up. Is that a setting I had on my old computer I don't have on this one? And whenever, oh, God damn it. Let me just go to Google Calendar. See, this is why Microsoft is hurting so badly. Okay, June 3rd is next Monday. So what we may do is we may push the podcast back. Let me think about this. So we may push the podcast back a day or two so I can report back to you on what I think of, initial first impressions, because I don't play PTB. So I'll let you know what I think about that. And then we will we'll talk about some other stuff and see where to go from there. One last thing, I'm looking for other games to play, like maybe have one game, like an alternate game that I stream. I like Hunt Showdown. Also like Valorant. I may go back and try Valorant. I don't know yet though. So we'll see where that goes. If you have any suggestions, please, I'm definitely open to that. And that is it for this week on Camping Them Softly. Until next time, Vecna will be out and I will be complaining about it.
Oh, sexy girlfriend.
Okay, so anyway, guys, thank you for coming by. Until next time, get the fuck out of my... Whoa, hang on, I did say it. I can't go yet because I do have a voice changer on here. It's different though. Let me try it. This one is called Large Robot, and I actually can't hear myself. Here, let me see if I turn on...
Okay, I can hear you. That's amazing.
He's so funny. Wow, toxic teacher.